Good morning, Nutters. Oh, good morning. Oh, hi. Hi. Oh, ignore the mess in the background. That's from Steven's car. He did not clean up. No, he did not. Okay, ready? Ready to go for a walk? Oh, where do you think you're going, mister? We gotta put your leash on. You gotta put your leash on, crazy. Oh, good. Good morning, you guys. It is Saturday, and I'm gonna do my first YouTube Wellness Wednesday chat today, which will be releasing on Wednesday. Probably shouldn't have said it was Saturday. Um, but I'm gonna start my day with a walk, and it's beautiful outside, so I just kind of wanted to take you guys with me. And yeah, and every time I get the chance, I like to walk first thing in the morning because it's quiet. Steven's still asleep, and me and Peanut get some alone time, and it just allows me to have a fresh start to my day. And I feel like, I might be a little nervous for this first YouTube video, so it's better to have a really fresh start and a really good feeling before I go and sit in front of a camera and talk to who knows who I'm talking to. But most of you know me from my bikini bodybuilding competitions and you follow me on Instagram. But if you're a stranger, welcome. Some of you guys are my students. Some of you guys are friends and family. And whoever you are, I'm so happy to have you here, and I hope you enjoy the topic for today, which is going to be all about starting a new diet. And what are the things that you should plan for? How long should your diet last? What kind of diet should you choose? And how long should it take you to reach your goals? And maybe a couple other little helpful tips and tricks for picking a new diet. Pokey, come on, Pokers. This is my little cat, you guys. He's following us in the background. Pokers! I got this coffee maker from my sister's. It's like an automatic one, and I'm not used to using it, but this one comes pre-ground. So the fine grounded coffee, you guys, is really meant for a coffee machine. My go-to is usually the French press. So I usually grind my own whole beans, but today we've got flavored coffee and it smells so good. Flavor is French toast. If you want to try this brand, I actually do have a code for them. And if you're someone that likes sweet coffee, but you don't like adding a bunch of creamer or sugar, these coffees are amazing for like fun flavors, and I will rate this one for you shortly. So I never have used a coffee making machine before, and I had to wiki Google how to use a coffee maker. And apparently the first step I should have done was actually measure out the coffee. So I did not measure it out, but if you guys are gonna make your coffee at home, it really makes a difference to use the right measurements. So 2 tablespoons of grind for every 6 ounces of water. And if you need to know how much water you're putting in there, that means you need to be using like a measuring cup for the water as well. So making sure that you actually put the water in the measuring cup and then pouring it in. I did not do that either. I just eyeballed everything because normally I make my coffee with a French press, but I also have the thicker ground for the coffee. And because this coffee is such a fine grind, I really wanted to maximize the flavor of it and make it with the right method. So for all my fellow coffee lovers out there, you understand what I'm talking about. But I think it's done brewing now. It was like angrily making a lot of noise. So it sounds like it's now quiet. And I will try it out for you guys. And even though I didn't measure or anything, I will let you know how it is. Taste test. Shout out to Allie, one of my students who gave me this cup with my name on it. I've had it for a while, so now the L is like falling off, but I still use it because I love it. And Allie is also my hairstylist, so she does all my highlights for me. They are not a fair representation at the moment because quarantine, and I haven't really been coloring it, and it's sort of just doing its natural growth out thing. And normally I have blue highlights, so you can see the blue underneath, kind of, maybe a little bit. And then the blonde, usually I color blue Carvana over it myself, but I've just kind of let it grow out, and I'm like, I don't really know what color it is, but I kind of like it, and something different. So, and it's easy. That's the main thing. But here goes the taste test. Oh my gosh, you guys, it makes a huge difference. Okay, it's so much better with the coffee maker. Wow. Can I ask you to taste test this coffee? Because you tried it yesterday, right? When I made it in the French press? Okay, babe, what do you think? You tried it yesterday. Trying it today. I cooled it down for you a little bit.
Better than the French press.
Better than the French press? It's super rich.
But that might have been because you left it in the French press for 3 hours. I was drinking basically like espresso sludge. It was about this thing. It was really good.
Really?
It was really good, but this is better.
It was even good as espresso slush that had been sitting for 3 hours, so this is just... But like, what does it taste like if you had to guess? I didn't tell you what flavor it was.
I mean, honestly, I would have to say that you took like a loaf of bread and specifically Texas toast and just put it in a French press and then pour some coffee grounds in there with some dog food.
With some dog food?
You can cut that part out. What does it taste like? One more time.
You're gonna finish all of it. I gave you a tiny cup because I wanted most of it.
If I didn't know, which I do, I would say that it was like chocolate and hazelnut.
Oh, interesting.
But I know that's not true.
Interesting. Okay, no maple flavor. I don't even know what Texas sweetbread tastes like though.
It's just like that big thick toast that they make French toast out of sometimes.
So it's supposed to taste like bread?
It doesn't really taste sweet. It's kind of like...
bread.
Yeah, it's like really thick Wonder Bread.
Oh. Okay, Wonder Bread coffee. There you have it.
Wonder Bread coffee.
I don't know if you guys can hear this, but I've got a little concert going on this morning. I'm doing some work in the kitchen and some guy's playing electric guitar. It's like 9 a.m. earlier, a little 8:40 on a Saturday, and this guy's just rocking and jamming. Da 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 da. Oh 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 da 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 da. All right, so welcome to the video. Today's topic is going to be all about how to start a diet for fat loss, even in quarantine, in 3 simple steps. So I decided that in order to get you guys excited and show you guys how to really properly go through a cutting phase, that I would do one with you. And I wanted to share my journey step by step over these next 8 weeks. I haven't done something like this for almost a year now. I originally started with like bikini bodybuilding competitions where I would do maybe like a 12 to 16 week cutting phase with a really intense training program and really intense dieting, but I haven't done a bikini competition for a while now. I don't really have the interest in doing one at the moment, but I do love having goals and I miss having a plan, and I am so excited to document this journey with you guys despite not having a stage goal, because I just want to look good for life, and I'm planning to surprise Steven with a little trip somewhere soon. So I want to look good for that trip, and I'm going to give myself 8 weeks to do it. So if you guys are looking to start a diet and you've got some fat loss goals, here are 3 things that you can think about when you're going to get started. So step number 1, think long term. All right, like you want to think about these next 8 weeks being non-negotiable. You got to commit to the 8 weeks. You can't stop 2 weeks in being like, I don't see results. Anyone can diet for a couple days, right? Like the hard part is getting past those initial couple weeks, because you got that momentum, that motivation in the beginning, but that quickly goes away. And if you don't think long-term and you don't give yourself a deadline out in the future, you're going to give up way sooner, and that's what causes people to go on and off diets. So you can't think of it, I'm starting fresh tomorrow. It cannot be a something you don't put a lot of thought into. You have to have a plan. All right, so thinking long run, I mean anywhere from 8 to 16 weeks. Most people, I would say you need at least 12 weeks to really give yourself time to see changes in the mirror. Most diet programs out there, you'll notice, are not 12 weeks. They're 4 weeks and 8 weeks because people love quick results. But weight loss the right way is not about how fast you can get your results. If anything, I like to think of it the opposite, which is not as catchy, but like how slowly can you how slowly can you make consistent progress over time? And in my opinion, the slower the better, because what comes quick goes quick. And if it comes slowly and you have to work for it, and it's also something that is most likely something that you can maintain and sustain for a long period of time if it's not a huge difference in how you're dieting and how you're working out. It's got to be something you can maintain and sustain. And that really means having a support system, because, you know, like I said, we can all get through those first 5 days of a diet plan, but it's those weeks down the line that we start to lose motivation, we start to forget our why, and we only have ourselves holding ourselves accountable. We're likely to say like, change my mind, and we forget about those long-term goals, and we just give into the craving or give into the immediate feelings that we're having. So if you're gonna think long-term, you need a support system. That's why I always recommend having a coach. I've used coaches in the past. When I first started bikini bodybuilding competitions, when I did my first reverse diet, I found it extremely helpful to have an external source being my cheerleader, holding me accountable, and reminding me of my why, reminding me of my reasons for why I got started in those moments of doubt. It doesn't have to be a coach. It could be a group of friends that you're doing a challenge with. It could be an online community. It could be a Facebook group. It could be a gym challenge. It could be anything that, like, you know, that someone that you don't want to let down, that's not just yourself. And if you guys are looking for a coach, I do one-on-one health coaching, and I do have a couple spots available as of now. I only take on 5 clients a month because my one-on-one training is so personalized, and it really is something that I want to be there for people along the journey. So if you guys are interested in having a coach walk you through your transformation process, I'll leave my details right over here and how you can reach me. And then after you do that step 1 of, you know, thinking long-term, finding a support system for when you are having your low moments and getting you past those first, you know, 5 to 7 days of your diet and all the way to the end of your deadline, your second step is to, kind of like the first step. Second step is have a start date and have an end date. So your start date should be probably like, you know, not the next day of when you decided you wanted to start your diet. It shouldn't be the very next day. It should probably be something that happens a week out from the time that you decided you were going to commit to a program. Give yourself a couple days to a week to really think about, okay, like shifting the mindset into, I'm about to start something new. And I love a calendar. I love having a hard deadline of when I start and when I finish, because that puts a cap on it. It gives you a little bit of urgency. So for me, I am going to start my cut on May 1st. Actually, just kidding. Today's May 2nd, Saturday. Starting May 2nd, Saturday, all the way up until July 4th, which is a Saturday. And that is about 8 weeks. And I like the idea of ending on July 4th. It just feels like, you know, a very memorable date. And actually my first bikini competition, not my first one, but my last bikini competition, it was a July 4th competition on Venice Beach. And so, you know, I like that. That little July 4th means a lot to me in terms of being in shape by that date. So I'm starting today and I am finishing July 4th. And then lastly is to have what's called SMART goals. So step 3 is all about setting SMART goals. SMART means specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound. We kind of covered some of those in the first 2 steps, but really with your SMART goals, it comes down to setting your goal weight. All right, so how much do you want to weigh by the end of these 8 weeks? Have a number in mind. Doesn't matter if you necessarily hit that number or if you go below it, whatever, but have a goal, have a vision. Think of a number you want to be at, write it down on a calendar somewhere. And how do you pick your goal weight? Make sure that your goal weight is not anything more than 10% of your current body weight. So whatever you weigh, a safe weight loss goal would be somewhere less than 10% of your body weight. So if I weigh, let's say 135, 140 pounds, I don't want to lose more than 14 pounds in those 8 weeks, in those 12 weeks, whatever your dieting phase is. at a time. You only want to aim to have like a 10% decrease in body weight, and then you want to definitely go into a dieting break before you do another type of a dieting phase. So for me, because I don't have huge weight loss goals, my goal is going to be to lose about 10 pounds in these next 8 weeks. And that is shooting pretty high for me, but I think I can do it. And if I don't hit those 10 pound goal, like that's okay with me, but I am setting that goal, and it is a safe and healthy goal because it is not more than 10% of my body weight. And then like you want to make goals that are measurable. So measurable is huge. You want to be able to measure your progress, because we don't always see the progress on us. Progress happens slowly, like the same way that your hair grows, it takes forever. The same way that like a scar heals on your leg. I've got this nasty little poison oak scar right now, and it has taken weeks to get better, and this journey is kind of going to be the process of my healing with that leg too. But you want to be able to measure progress outside of your eyeballs, because your eyeballs are not going to see the changes all the time. So I love having the scale. Not that I only rely on a scale, because there's lots of things that can go wrong with a scale. Trust me, I go up and down 5 pounds all the time for no reason. But the scale is one way of knowing that you've made progress. Another way is photos or a progress video. I really prefer the progress videos because photos are kind of hard to take of yourself, but a video, you really get to see all angles. And I love having measurements. So I'll take a tape measure, chest, waist, hips, sometimes the thighs, whatever areas you want to focus on. You pick the measurement that you want to focus on, and you get to see those numbers go down over time. And even if it doesn't go down week to week, I promise you if you stick to your 8 to 12 week plan, whatever your timeline is, you will see changes over time. It's not about week to week or day to day. It's about like the overall long run picture. And realistic. Have realistic goals. Having a coach really helps keep you realistic in what's attainable and how much you can expect to lose and what you can expect to look like by the end of a 10-week cut. But just make sure that you are not let down if you don't look like magazine ready. You just want to look a little bit more tight, a little bit more lean, a little more muscle definition than you were a couple months ago. And so for me, I know that I'm already pretty lean. And it is true that the leaner you get, the harder it is to see changes, because your body is already at a point where it's comfortable. Your body doesn't like to go below a point that's comfortable. So if you have more weight to lose, your body is more willing to let go of that body fat. If you're at a point where your body's healthy, it's going to be a little more resistant, a little more hesitant to let go of body fat, because it might need it for, a time in a famine, or if you're evolutionarily speaking, we needed some fat on our bodies to make sure we survived. Right now, not the case. So we have to work extra hard if we're already in a pretty lean state to get even leaner. So for me, I know my realistic weight, like 10 pounds is a pretty big goal for me. Realistically, I know I can lose 5, but I'm sticking somewhere between 5 and 10 just to kind of give myself that little extra push. But I'm being realistic about it. I know that I'm not gonna see a humongous change, but I am gonna see a change because I know what I'm looking for. And after that, like you guys, it's just about following through with your word. And so just to summarize, you've got your long-term thinking, your support team behind you, you've got a start and a finish line, and lastly, you have a plan, and it is a smart plan. You need those 3 things in order to stick to your diet, in order to succeed and see results. It's pretty much as simple as that. I mean, it is simple. It's not easy. It is simple, not easy. There's a difference. And if you have any more questions on, a diet plan that you're thinking of starting, or questions about a realistic goal for you, please comment or send me an email at soulfitlabsla@gmail.com. Message me on Instagram at Laura Lucas Fitness. And I'm here for you guys, so let me know what you think. And please remember to like and subscribe to my channel, especially because it's brand new and I want to have lots of fun videos coming up for you guys on a weekly basis.